So today is the launch of the NDC Manifesto here in Winneba, University of Education. Let's go and have some conversation with some Ghanaians who have found themselves here. Let's go. Please, your name?
Please, I'm Georgina.
And which constituency are you coming from?
We are Ladies Force. We just built that group to help JM to come to power.
Ladies Force.
JM is dealing with ladies. So this year, we the ladies, we want to gather and make sure that JM win the position.
That's right. That's good. So what are your expectations today?
Oh, my expectations are we wish everything goes on well, successful, because what is happening in Ghana, we don't like it. So we want the best from JM today.
So what are you expecting from today's manifesto?
Oh, today we are expecting to hear the best from him.
From you mean the best?
The best.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Your name once again?
Georgina. Thank you.
Ladies
Force.
Force.
We make a difference.
Please, your name and which constituency are you coming from?
My name is Vincent Pelsi Derry, and I'm coming from the Amasaman constituency.
Amasaman, all the way from Amasaman to Winneba.
Exactly.
Wow. So what are your expectations?
Oh well, my expectations for this particular manifesto is amazing. It's great. It's the hope of Ghanaians. Today is the day that the whole Ghana and the whole world is going to get more hope and more confidence in our nation. We understand the fact that over the years, Ghana has been a crossroads under this regime. We have seen so many struggle. We have seen so many unburden of Ghanaians, taxes. We have seen a lot of promises that this current government has promised in 2016, including 2020 elections as well, which they have not been able to deliver. And we know that the fact that Ghanaians know the difference between His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC and the MPP.
Okay.
Today, in fact, my expectations are very great, which I'm going to see more hope, which I'm going to see more confidence, which I know that the whole world will see and have more confidence in the Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the incoming Vice President, and the NDC as a whole.
I don't want to say, every margin I meant to so. Every said, your mama and one don't see, the baby Jinaha, it's true to a real book. Every said, yes, I did. I go for the day from Kwasum, on my bread, and my mama 2016, never go Togo. I go for the bar, I am to go Togo, Mr. Samaya Basa, and see mama, on your coso, on my jelly in Kwasum, lay a bread and cassa, and I got it, you go market, I want to add it.
As you can see, everything is going backwards. The economy, agri, finance, industry, forex, whatever it is, every aspect of the economy is going backwards. And what President Mahama'S is saying that this manifesto is going to take us forward, reset Ghana and take us forward in the right direction. I mean, in 2016, a lot of people bashed John Mahama because they said he was corrupt, they said he was running the economy in a different way. But as you can see, the economy is worse now, and we are here to present, the reset economy, the reset manifesto, which will take us in the right direction.
Of course, you are in that space.
Yeah.
You mentioned agriculture.
Yeah.
We've had a 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
That he intends to continue with his legacy projects in infrastructure.
Yeah.
But then in terms of agriculture, what should the people, expect? Especially when he mentioned that he intends to make agriculture cool, sexy.
Yeah.
How is that going to happen? Of course, I'm sure that you've had a sneak peek of whatever is expected to happen. So tell us, what should we anticipate in the agri sector of the manifesto?
Well, the truth of the matter is, I would want us to finish the manifesto. Let my boss say what it is, then we can talk about it.
Come on, John, you are in that space.
But what I can tell you,
you are in that space. I mean, you can tell us what to expect. Just briefly,
that is why I'm waiting for my boss to present it to the whole of Ghana, then we can talk about it. But what I can tell you is agric is about to be cool, sexy, and very productive when it comes to the agric sector. Look, agric is the backbone of every economy. Agric has been at the backbench of this economy in the last 8 years. But what we're about to do is to transform agric and make agric cool and sexy, make agric something which, of course, the youth can embrace, and we can use that to move Ghana in the right direction. That is what the manifesto is about. But after we finish presenting it, we can talk more about it.
Winneba, also called Silva, that the time is up for this administration. The time is up for them to go. They have decimated our democracy beyond recognition. They've destroyed livelihoods and families and pushed millions of our people below the poverty line. Your vote on December 7th will end the tyranny, it will end the cronyism, it will end the corruption, it will end the hardship. It will also pave the way for the vision, experience, and trustworthiness. And I, Dr. Mahama, is going to restore that to the flag star. As I've said before, this government must begin writing their handing over notes if they have not started doing so already. This MPP administration has been the biggest political scam that has been pulled on Ghanaian since independence in 1957. And I'll explain why. They were repackaged with ribbons and sweetly scented with enticing promises. Most Ghanaians will agree that Nana Akufo-Addo is indeed the president Ghana never got. And indeed, I dare say, his much-touted economic whiskey Vice President Dr. Mahama'S is also the economic messiah Ghana never got. The NPP government took over from our administration on 7 January 2017. They inherited an energy sector we had stabilized with the fastest mobilization of emergency power of almost 800 megawatts in the history of Ghana. Along with this came a new Energy Sector Levy Act, which we call ESCA, with potential revenues of 3 billion Ghana cedis every year to pay off legacy energy sector debts. They inherited an ongoing Millennium Challenge Compact of $547 million aimed at making Ghana's energy sector the most efficient in Africa. This family, ruling family, paralleled over the shares in the PDS company and led to the US pulling back $190 million, which was spent for the most critical component of the compact, and that is private sector participation and improvement in collection at the distribution end of the electricity value chain. They inherited more than $450 million of the IMF extended credit facility initiated by my administration. Most of our state-owned enterprises were breaking even or making a profit. We handed that to them. They inherited a cocoa production of more than 960,000 metric tons of cocoa, with a cocoa board that was making profit and owed only 1.5 billion cedis to the central bank in cocoa bills. We handed over to them 2 new oil-producing wells, the 10 field and the ENI Sankofa, which increased Ghana's oil production by more than 100,000 barrels per day, with additional gas of more than 200 million standard cubic feet per day. And this increased Ghana's oil revenues from petroleum by more than $500 million every year. They took over from our administration a stabilization fund in which we had accrued $277 million. A Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund received money of $270 million. A sinking fund account at the Bank of Ghana with a balance of over $200 million. They inherited a budget that ran a deficit of 6.1%, with zero borrowing from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, zero borrowing. They inherited a stable currency that traded at about 4 cedis to $1. Inflation was at 15.4%. Unemployment was at 8.4%. And when we handed over the administration of this country to the Akufo-Addo government, Ghana's debt as a percentage of our GDP was 56%. As a result of fiscal consolidation, we handed over an economy that was set to grow above 8%, as predicted by the World Bank and IMF and all the credit rating agencies. Private businesses enjoyed an enabling environment to thrive, and foreign investors were queuing to make investments also took off with a stabilized economy and significant buffers with enormous domestic and internal goodwill. Indeed, this has been the most favored government in our history. But alas, the Ghanaian people's favor, their goodwill, has been repaid with only pain and anguish. This government has received more revenue than all governments combined in the history of Ghana. And as the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. Unfortunately, the people of Ghana have been severely shortchanged by this administration. The scorecard of this administration has been abysmal. An inflation rate that went as high as 54%, and is currently still hovering above 20%. Ghana today has one of the highest food inflation rates in the whole of Africa. We have a currency that has depreciated to almost 16 cedis to $1 and we borrowed more than 70 billion from the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, causing a serious upsurge in inflation and causing the Bank of Ghana to go broke. We have a debt to GDP that went as high as 104%. And today, the unemployment rate is almost 15% from just about 8% in 2016. Worst of all, Ghana has defaulted on the debt payment and has therefore engaged in a debt exchange that has resulted in painful haircuts, and they have deferred the tenure of bonds at lower interest rates. This has caused a lot of trouble for investors, including pensioners. Cocoa production, which has been one of the mainstays of our economy, has plummeted, and for the first time in the history of our country, the cocoa bond annual syndication, which was sought after by all international banks, today it has no takers. Nobody is willing to lend cocoa bond any money. Production volumes are down, and cocoa bond is seeking to delay delivery of almost 350,000 tons of cocoa to next year. It means that your government, NDC, is the one going to have to find the 350,000 to fill that hole, to pay the debt. Cocoa bond has also defaulted on almost 13 billion Ghana cedis in cocoa bonds. Oil and gas production has declined by 32%, and debt to independent power producers has increased astronomically. Today, the majority of state-owned enterprises are posting massive losses. The COVID pandemic, rather than being an adversity, turned out to be a blessing, with a windfall for this government of almost 25 billion Ghana cedis of inflows, most of which were doled out to companies owned by family and friends. The majority of our citizens are convinced that our country, Ghana, is going in the wrong direction. Faith in our democracy is at its lowest, and many of our youth do not believe that constitutional governance is working for them. Faith in our democratic institutions and the political leadership is at its lowest ebb, and corruption is at its highest, and Ghanaians have become numb to the scandals that are exposed almost every week. And you are going to have a president who says he does not understand the hullabaloo that is being made about the sale of state hotels to a minister in his own government, then clearly he is on a completely different wavelength from the rest of us in this country. My brothers and sisters, this is a president who just doesn't get it. Many domestic and foreign investors have adopted a wait-and-see attitude. Many of them have told me that they are waiting for a signal from the Ghanaian people, that the political and business environment is going to change for the better, that we are going to strike the change so that we can provide a reasonable environment for them to put in their investments. Ladies and gentlemen, the Holy Book in Matthew 25:14-30 tells one of the parables of Jesus Christ. And this is the parable of the talents. This parable teaches us to invest whatever is put in our care wisely for the benefit of our master. The master in this case is the people of Ghana. This administration is just like the last of the servants who buried his talents that was given to him by his master. And when his master came, they returned the 1 talent to him. But in this case of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia and their cabal, they did not bury the 1 talent and give us back our 1 talent when we returned. They gambled with the talents that we gave them, and they landed the people of Ghana in a huge debt. We cannot continue on this path. Lessons must be learned from the experience of these last almost 8 years. A vote for the MPP will be an expression of satisfaction with the impunity of the last 8 years. A vote for the MPP is a vote for a 10th term for Nana Akufo-Addo. A vote for the MPP.
The 2024 NDC Manifesto launch here in Winneba, University of Education, is still ongoing. And finally, the flag bearer of the NDC has highlighted his first part of the manifesto. Let us go and have conversation with the party members to see whether the things he highlighted is going to be possible or not. Please, your name?
I'm Abdulaziz Asim.
And
Bigislim.
Constituency.
Kolokolote Zongo Caucus Coordinator.
Hey!
Honorable Senator Ajima Rollins.
Wow.
Incoming MP, inshallah, retaining.
I can see it. You are repping it to your life. Okay, so why are you actually here?
As you can see, it's not only NDC people that are here. You can see that Ghanaians, mix of people. So
not only NDC.
Not only NDC, because this is the second coming. This is the second independence that we are fighting for. Because Nanado and Bawumia have made men have become women today. That you can't even control your house. So if you are not part of this historic thing, then I think you're out of Ghana.
Men have become women.
Men, in terms of the hardship.
In terms of the hardship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you can even walk, you can't even feel that there's something in your trousers because of the hardship. I'm telling you.
Wow. So, okay, the flag bearer has highlighted first part of the manifesto.
Yeah.
Which aspect boosted your energy?
The 24-hour economy. That's the one which has boosted my energy because I've been outside before. I've seen it. So it's possible we can do it.
So you think it's going to be possible?
It's going to be possible in terms of even employment. When you take it from the 24 hours economy, you can see that even the security service, we are going to need more men.
Okay.
Even the electricity side, we are going to need more men for them to also fix something. Let's not think about the 3 shifts. That's what is 1, 3, 3. I mean, you can see a lot. Okay. So I think that part is the most beautiful thing that I think has happened for me.
Okay. So for now, for what Mahama has said, what will you tell Ghanaians out there, those who were not able to make it here today?
Yeah, I'm pleading to Ghanaians, both CPP, PNC, NDC in general, and Ghanaians in general. This fight is for freedom, or else we should look at the state capturing things that are happening. If we don't chase these crazy ballers out of town, I don't think we can sustain in Ghana here anymore. So we are pleading to Ghanaians, coming 7th December, they should massively vote for John Mahama and whichever MP that is in your constituency for us to get majority in parliament to implement what we want to do for next 2025.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Name and your constituency.
My name is James Society. I belong to the NDC Professionals Forum. Professionals Forum.
Oh, okay. And why are you here today? Why specifically?
Well, I came to listen to JM, what he has for us as far as the manifesto is concerned.
Okay, so you were here to listen to what he has for Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you've listened to his part of the manifesto, he has thrown light on part of the manifesto. What's your take on it?
Yeah, my take on it is that if all the issues, because it's highlighted and sector by sector, if you are able to implement all the things that we have outlined, right from the production, education, economy, etc., then Ghana will be a different state altogether. It will be a hub for manufacturing, a hub for service provision, medical provision, and therefore it will get to the extent, what I see is that we even have to import labor. And that means that Ghana will now tend to be of a different kind of state within Africa. It's likely to be that of South Africa. So basically that is what I see.
Okay, so for all that he said, what did you really like in everything that he said in his part of the manifesto? What did you really like?
Well, one of the key things I love is the provision of manufacturing, and again the provision of pensions for informal sector workers. You see, today we are all strong, we are working, running around, we can do whatever we want to do provided we have life to get our daily bread. But a day will come that even if you have life, nature has produced us in such a way that you cannot work. And that is the time you need money to take care of yourself, particularly food and health. Now, in Ghana today, if you look at our informal sector workers, those who are selling kente, selling bamboo, dry plantain, they have no pension. They have no pension. So they depend on their children, who they are able to educate. But one of the key factors is that their children also have responsibilities, which they cannot shed away their responsibility because of their parents. So, and if they have to combine, it will not be effective in managing their parents. So that is the more reason why the private sector pension scheme is particularly for me is my take on all the issues that we are highlighting.
Alright, but do you think this is going to be possible? All that he has said, do you think it's going to be possible?
You see, I always tell people that when you put a seed in the soil, if it is maize, it will take 3 months. 6 months you harvest. If it is yam, 6 months you harvest. You see. So some of the things are low-hanging fruit, like the pension that I talked to you about. It's a service, it's a long-hanging fruit. So that one, if you give me the opportunity, I can tell you, if I'm there within 3 months, we should be able to take off. What does it take? Systems, having people go around, educate women why they need to invest in their future. When it comes to manufacturing, already you have running organizations. What you need to do is to treat them. So they are the low-hanging ones, which you can easily pick, and within 6 months. Now when you take the government sector, civil services, what you need to do is to reshape them where they can work within 24 hours, and it gives you opportunity to bring in other people.
Okay, so you are sure you are going to be?
Yeah. For me, practically it is possible.
Alright, thank you very much.
All right.